Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video, and today it's time for my top 5 sci-fi and fantasy reads that I'd love to read. This is again a crossover between Top 5 Wednesday and the BooktubeSFF Awards read-alongs, and so yeah, here's my top 5 books that I want to read that are sci-fi and fantasy. Also, I like to say there's a lot of sci-fi and fantasy reads that I'd love to get to, also from series that I'm currently working on. But for this one, I'm going to be focusing on either standalones or first in a series. So it'll be 5 books that are either standalone or first in a series. But there are also a lot of series next books that I really like to get to. And I'm also not going to mention any of the sci-fi and fantasy read-alongs if I'm really excited about those, because I know I'm going to be reading those really soon anyway. Coming in as number 5 on my top 5 list of books that I want to read is A Natural History of Dragons by Maria Brennan, I think she was called. And the reason I have added this to my list is because I recently saw Caitlin over at Kitty G talking about this book, and she made this series sound really, really interesting. And they're pretty short books, and there's only going to be 5 books in this series, so it's going to be ending pretty soon, and I really want to get to this. It sounds really, really interesting, and it features dragons, and I think that's really interesting as well. Coming in as number 4 on my list is a pretty new release that I received, and I pre-ordered this and it finally arrived, and that is The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. This is a book that follows this girl who finds out that she's a necromancer. She's from a big family of witches, and when she discovers she has this power, this is sort of a power that everyone are a little bit afraid of, and they found out she has this power when she accidentally reawakens someone. I haven't seen a lot of reviews of this, so I'm really interested in seeing what this is going to be about, but I think I've always thought that the topic of necromantic powers is pretty interesting. I've read a few and I've always really enjoyed them, so hopefully I'll also enjoy this. So yeah, really looking forward to getting to this book. Coming in as number 3 on my list is a book I'm not sure exactly, it's not very fantastical, I think it's more about sci-fi, but that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I've only heard really great things about this book, so I'm really interested in seeing what this is going to be about, and I think it's a sci-fi thriller, so we'll see if this actually fits with with this list. But yeah, anyway, coming in as number 2 on my top 5 list is going to be Fascination by John Scalzi. I've been wanting to read John Scalzi for a while now, and both Lindsay Ray, back when she was making videos, was raving about how much she loved this, and Sam from Sans Nonsense has been raving about how much she loved this book. And so I wanted to start out with this book by John Scalzi, even though he's just recently released a new book called The Collapsing Empire, and he has the whole Old Man's War series, which I'm gonna get to later, but as of right now I really want to get to this one. And this is my favorite new Mass Market paperback because it's so floppy. I love it, and it's not really long, so I'm really looking forward to get to this sci-fi read. This is one of my science fiction books. I'm going to be reading a lot more science fiction from now on. It's just a new priority of mine. And coming in as number 1 on my top 5 list is going to be from an author that I've heard only really great things about of all of the fantasy lovers out there, and it is Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan, the first book in the Ryoria Chronicles. I think there's a lot of different series in this world, and I'm not exactly sure which one this is from. I noticed that it's the first one I'm supposed to read, I think, and then I can read some of the others afterwards. But I recently got this down on my Audible account, so I can't wait to dive into this. These are my top 5 sci-fi and fantasy books that I really want to get to really soon. And let me know in the comments down below if you have any of these books on your list and what your most anticipated sci-fi and fantasy reads are right now. Yeah, but this was all I had for you today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!